All right. So, by the title of this video, you can see that I said sneak peek of my book. I am writing a book. When I was a kid, I used to write little stories that were I don't know, 2 to 3 pages long. And then I decided that as I got older, I wanted to write an actual book. So this book is called The Haunting of Hartwell Pond, and it's a horror book or horror novel. I don't know. I'm 25 pages in or something like that. So not very far along at all. But I recently just got some inspiration because I haven't had a lot of inspiration recently. This book was inspired by the summer of 2019. I went up to camp for a day, and my cousins happened to be there, which I didn't know about, but I was really happy to see them, and we actually discovered this barrel on the other side of the pond that was submerged in the water, but you could see it, and the barrel was huge. And so my cousin was joking around and was like, oh my gosh, there's probably a dead body in it. So yeah. Since then, I discovered that I was gonna write a book about this barrel. Now, I really don't actually know if there's anything in that barrel. My dad says it's empty, but nobody's actually seen inside of it. So, yeah. But the barrel, I think, is still there. So, we'll go check it out this summer at camp. But right now, I am on chapter 4, and I want to read to you what I have so far in just chapter 4 alone. So it's a little bit of a sneak peek. So it's about 2.5 pages, and that's all I'm going to read to you. So let's get started. As we lay in bed that night, I awoke to a strange noise. At first I thought that maybe it was a bear, because I heard rustling in the woods and it kept getting closer and closer. So I went out on the balcony with a flashlight to see if I could make something out. I stood there probably a few moments when suddenly the rustling stopped and I saw nothing. So I turned around to go back inside. When I started to turn, I heard, "Hello?" from below the balcony. I quickly whipped back around to see a young female woman, around my age, standing on the grass below me. She was wearing a knee-high white skirt and a blue crop top. Her hair was golden blonde and long. I was nervous, but I replied with, "Hello?" We stared at each other in silence a few minutes when the girl asked, "Can she see me too?" It was then I realized that my cousin Charlotte was standing behind me. I looked at her and she just nodded her head up and down as to say yes. "I'm sorry to bother you," said the girl. "My name is Jane, and I seem to be lost." "Well, you really shouldn't be here," my cousin said. "This is private property." "I know you're not supposed to talk to strangers, but something about this woman drew us in, so we gave her directions into town. From there, maybe the police could help her." We then watched her disappear back into the woods without a trace. We were scared, but decided to go back to bed anyway, and if the girl came back, we'd wake up my aunt and grandparents. The next morning, I woke up and headed downstairs. I had decided to convince myself that Jane was a dream, a silly, creepy dream, but not real nonetheless. We had 2 more nights left at camp, so we had to figure out how to get that barrel out of the water before time ran out. So later that day, after breakfast, we hopped into the boat and the 2 kayaks. "Okay, so," I started in, "the first part to solve any mystery is gathering evidence. We had already discovered the shirt and the suspicious car. Now we had to look deeper, and that required going on land." So that's all I have for chapter 4 right now. If you want to hear more, I will keep you guys updated on, as my book progresses. I might give you more sneak peeks into it, and I can't wait to actually hopefully publish it maybe by the end of this year. So, that's it for my sneak peek. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And also, I didn't use any of my family's real names in this. So, my aunt and 2 of my cousins were actually there that day, but her name is not Charlotte. And you'll see that I named my Aunt Nancy, which is not, that's not her actual name. So I didn't use any actual names because I didn't think that they'd be okay with that. And because it's my family, I think I'd rather just keep that private anyway. So no real names were used. Camp is a real place. Hartwell Pond is a real place. the barrel is real, but everything else is kind of just like fictional. Is it fictional? Because non-fictional is real, right? Yeah, so not so fictional. But I hope that you guys are going to enjoy my book, hopefully when it comes out, and hopefully you will enjoy the sneak peeks that I have planned on going live for, and I'll see you guys later. So, bye!